Hi, my name is Atlas. Today I'm going to show you how to put together and play the alto saxophone. So you want to go ahead and start with your alto saxophone case right side up, meaning the logo's facing up. Any words on the case like Yamaha are legible and not upside down. And then you are going to undo the latches on your case, whatever they may be. The saxophone only has a couple of parts, which is helpful. There's other instruments that have much more complicated assembly. So there is the neck strap, which attaches to the saxophone so that you don't have to hold it. It's kind of heavy. There's the body of the saxophone. This is called the neck. The neck goes into the body, and then the mouthpiece goes onto the neck. This is a ligature, which goes onto the mouthpiece and holds the reed in place. And here is a reed. If you look carefully, you'll see there's a number on it. Mine is a 3 reed. The number just tells you how thin or thick it is. The number doesn't necessarily correspond to like millimeters or anything. They just kind of decided this is what a 3 is. So yeah, I'm on a 3. You'll probably be on a 2 or a 2.5, just because it's harder to play with the thicker reeds. So the first step towards assembly, you're going to grab your neck strap. You want to make sure that there's no like twists in it or anything, because those will be really uncomfortable when you have the weight of the instrument pressing down on them. You're going to go ahead and put that around your neck. Make sure it doesn't have your hair in it. Grab the body of the saxophone. And how to hold it. Your left thumb goes on this thumb pad. Your right thumb goes under here. Your right hand goes over these 3 pads. Your left or right thumb or pinky floats over these 2. We're not actually going to be doing anything with the right hand, so you don't have to worry about that. And then for your left hand, this is more important, so pay attention. Your pointer finger goes on the 2nd key. Your middle finger skips the small key, goes to the big key. Your index finger goes to the next key. And your left pinky is over all of these in case you need to hit one. So, to review, left thumb on the thumb pad, right thumb under the thumb pad. Right hand 1, 2, 3. Left hand 1, 2, 3. Okay. You'll notice there's also this little doohickey in the saxophone. Take that out. That's just to make sure that this delicate, kind of thinner area of metal doesn't get crushed while you're transporting your sax around. Okay. Now that we know how to hold this thing, got it out of the case, got our neck strap on, you'll see there's a little loop there. Yours might look a little different, but there will be some sort of attachment point. You're going to just go ahead and grab your neck strap's hook and hook it in. Once it's hooked in, your saxophone should be able to float. When playing the saxophone, if you're sitting, some players prefer to stand, I prefer to sit. Make sure that your instrument's floating in the air, not touching your chair. It rhymes, so you have to remember it. Next, grab the neck of your saxophone, and you don't have to grease this part at all. It should just slide directly in. You may have to shimmy it around. If it's not going in, you can loosen this by twisting it that way. And you want that to be relatively centered when the saxophone's in front of you, but you're about to twist on a mouthpiece, so don't worry about it too hard yet. So grab your mouthpiece. The logo side should be facing the sky, and the part with the hole should be facing the ground. As you can see, there is a cork at the end of the neck, the only cork on the whole saxophone. So you want to take your cork grease, rub it between your fingers, and then rub it onto the cork. It's important that you rub it onto the cork rather than rubbing the grease onto the cork, just because this is what actually makes it slippery, so the mouthpiece slides on easily. So put your cork grease back in your case, and remember, logo side towards the sky. So you want to twist that on. Careful not to crush this. My hand's around it, but I'm not crushing. And you want to twist that mouthpiece as far down as you can. You'll probably be very, very flat the first couple of times you play saxophone. And by twisting it in, it'll raise your pitch, so it's not quite as severe. So make sure that's kind of centered when it's in your mouth. And if it's where you want it to be, then go ahead and tighten it. Another detail is the neck strap. I already have mine adjusted, but it's got kind of a seatbelt mechanism, and you can make it either higher or lower. The ultimate goal, though, is that the mouthpiece should just kind of loosely hang on your mouth without touching anything or like lowering your neck or raising your neck. It should be comfortable, it should be easy, it should just float there. Next, you're going to grab your ligature. There's a couple different styles of ligature, but the most important ideas are the wide end. There's a wide end and a thin end. The wide end goes down lower on the instrument, because if you put it on the other way, it just won't work. And then the pins, no matter what ligature you have, should be facing the right when you look at it, towards you. So you want to make sure that the ligature is below this little indentation on the mouthpiece. And then grab your reed. You want to moisten your reed because the vibration of the reed is what produces all the sound. It's just magnified by the rest of the instrument. So make sure to moisten both sides of the reed. Just by licking it. Because you want it to vibrate as freely as possible. And more flexibility helps that. So to get the reed on there, push your ligature up a little bit so that there's more of an open space. Push your reed down until there's just a sliver of black visible, like that. Make sure it's centered. And then push your ligature back down so it's below this darker part of the reed. And once that's all true, you can tighten these pins until it's hard to tighten them anymore, and then loosen them a little so the reed vibrates freely. Do that with both. And then, once all that's done, your saxophone's assembled. So remember, if you forgot, these are the keys that we'll be working with. Your right hand floats over these. We're not gonna deal with that today. So to form an embouchure, which is the position of your lips, so that you can play, you want to roll your bottom lip over your bottom teeth, just a little bit, not all the way, but enough so that your teeth are covered and not touching the reed. And your top teeth are actually going to touch the mouthpiece. Don't bite down, just set them gently. When you're playing, there will be some vibration in your teeth. It'll be uncomfortable at first, but it's normal, and you'll get used to it. And then, as for the corners of your mouth, you want them to be firm around the sides of the mouthpiece so that there's an airtight seal, so no air escapes when you're playing. And assuming all of that is true, when you blow forcefully from your diaphragm, you should be able to produce a sound. If you have no keys down, that'll be a C sharp. Another detail, you want to make sure that the cavity of your mouth, so you want to have like a lot of space in your mouth, like you could fit a golf ball in there. For notes, we're gonna fly through these real quick, so pay close attention. The first note I'm going to teach you is G, which is just all three of your left fingers down. No pinky. We're not dealing with pinky today. And your thumb is not pressing down this octave key. So a G should sound like. If when you play G, a higher octave comes out, like. That's okay, but that means you have like an embouchure that's a little too tight. So think lower and looser. The next note, you're just going to take off one finger, so now just the pointer and middle finger are covering, or on those pads, and that is your A. So G, A. And then B is just your pointer finger. So to play hot cross buns, it would be B, A, G, B, A, G, 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 A, B, A, G. And in order to create space between those notes, so you want to start with your tongue on the reed, pressing down so that even if you were to blow, no sound would come out. I'll demonstrate. If I blow like really, really hard and I force it, a sound will come out, but my tongue is preventing any air from really going down the instrument. And then when I remove my tongue, sound starts. So when you're playing, start with a little less air than that, and your tongue covering it. Not covering it, your tongue just pressing down on that reed so that none of the air flows through. Release when you want sound, and to stop the sound, put your tongue back on the reed. It's pretty intuitive. So yeah, remember the tongue is to stop and just to stop the sound. So hot cross buns. Start with B, mi, re, do. Okay, we're gonna do it together. I'm gonna count us off. 1, 2, ready. that's all the time I have for playing today. But you understand the basics. And if you're having trouble, either ask your teacher or just go back, watch over. You can take it much slower than I took it. I just did that for the sake of my time and yours. For disassembly, you want to start. You might have seen I unscrewed the ligature, took off the reed. Carefully place your ligature in your case. Dry off your reed by sucking out the moisture. You want to put the delicate end in the reed case that it came in first. Careful not to chip it, and then you can slide in that thicker end. That also goes in your case. Go ahead and remove your mouthpiece. Blow through it to get rid of any excess moisture. Place that in your case. Next, remove your neck, just by untwisting and then untwisting. Similar process to the mouthpiece, blow through to get rid of any excess moisture. And then place that back in your case where it started. Next, grab your cleaning swab, sorry. There's a couple different styles. I actually have two here. So I'll just grab this one. The swab comes with this, which is a weighted side, which goes into the instrument first, and then the rest of it is just a length of cloth that absorbs the humidity. The humidity is actually spit, but woodwind players like to call it humidity. Go ahead and remove your neck strap, first by taking it off of your saxophone and then off of you. Place that in your case so you don't forget it. Then place that weighted end into, this is the bell, place the weighted end into the bell of the saxophone. This is the kind of tricky part. You're gonna hold the saxophone with your thumb like that, and you're gonna try and kind of use gravity to get it down there. It might take some practice, but I'm sure you'll get it. And just go ahead and swab through your instrument like 2, 3, maybe 4 times even. I'm just gonna do it once for the sake of time. And after that, if you remember this little bit from the beginning of the video, put this back in so that the delicate, fragile metal up top doesn't get damaged. And then place your saxophone back in your case. An important detail about your cleaning swab, because it just absorbed all that humidity, you don't want to put it back in your case because it can cause like rot, mold, all sorts of bad stuff. Instead, you're just going to tie it just a little bit, just like, you know how you tie your shoes, just that first part, not even like, not the knot business, just an X. And then be sure to latch your case together. Yeah, make sure this doesn't drag on the ground and get gross, because it goes into your instrument. And that's all I have for you today. We've covered assembly, how to produce a sound, and we even played a little hot cross buns. Yeah, you've made a lot of steps towards becoming a professional saxophone player. Keep practicing.